What would you do? If they told you tomorrow would be your last day alive, would you beg for more time? Would you make peace with everything you've done, or everything you haven't? Or would you, like Socrates, sip the poison, calmly, without fear? The man was 70 years old. Athens had judged him guilty for corrupting the youth and failing to honor the gods. But the real reason? He was dangerous. Not with a sword, but with ideas. Socrates asked questions no one wanted to answer. And when the time came, he didn't flinch. No cries, no protests, just quiet acceptance. He could have escaped. His students begged him to. Plato records it. Crito, his close friend, came with bribes, plans, even a safe house. But Socrates said no. To run would be to betray everything I taught you. That hit me hard, because most of us, we run. Not from cities, but from ourselves, from the silence, from the truth. I used to chase everything, likes, views, money, that next shiny thing. Hustling, grinding, always building, but never being. I thought success was somewhere out there, until I realized I was nowhere inside. And then I read Socrates. Really read him. Not the quotes, not the Instagram reels, but the conversations. The apology, Crito, Phaedo. And it shook me. This man, literally steps away from death, was still teaching, still asking questions, still curious. So I started asking my own. What if death wasn't the enemy? What if fear was? What if living right meant being ready to die? Sounds morbid, right? But it's actually freeing, because once you stop fearing death, everything else gets quiet. The anxiety, the noise, the fake expectations. You start living, not to avoid pain, but to seek truth. And here's where things changed for me. I did something weird. I created a daily ritual, not a to-do list, a to-be list. Step 1, every morning I ask, if this were my last day, what would I do differently? Try it. Open a blank page, Google Docs, Notion, even your Notes app. Write just one sentence. If I had one day to live. And don't go for the dramatic. Not the skydiving or private jets. Go deeper. Would you call someone you've been avoiding? Would you sit in the sun, quietly, no phone? Would you forgive? That's where the real life starts. Now step 2, eliminate the unnecessary. I use a tool called Notion for this. Inside I built a little dashboard called Essentials. Just 3 tabs, people, principles, projects, people I want to show up for. Principles I want to live by. Projects I want to die proud of. If it doesn't fit in one of those, it goes. And when you do this long enough, something wild happens. Your days stop feeling scattered. Your brain stops buzzing. You begin to feel time again. Let me give you a stat that might blow your mind. The average American checks their phone 344 times a day. That's once every 4 minutes. And yet we say we don't have time to think, to read, to breathe. Socrates said, beware the barrenness of a busy life. And now, 2,400 years later, we're drowning in it. So here's step 3, and it's the hardest. Create space to think. I know, not sexy, but it's where everything happens. Download a free app called Insight Timer, or use your phone's timer, and sit in silence for 10 minutes. No music, no scrolling, just breathing. Thoughts will scream, that's normal. But underneath, you'll hear something else. You. And here's the crazy part. The more I sat in that silence, the more aligned I became. I started saying no to things that didn't fit my values. I started speaking up. I started creating from a place of peace, not panic. You see, Socrates wasn't wise because he knew more. He was wise because he admitted how little he knew. He said, I know that I know nothing. That's not false humility. That's freedom. Because once you stop pretending to have it all figured out, you can finally start learning. That's what this whole thing is about. Not building a perfect life, but building a life that can face death with calm. And I'll be honest with you, it's not easy. Some days I fall right back into distraction, into ego, into comparison. But then I remember the prison cell, the cup of hemlock, the quiet man who chose to die, not for pride, not for martyrdom, but for integrity. That's what I want, a life aligned enough to die well. So let me ask you again, if today were your last, would you run or would you sit with it? And if the answer shakes you, that's okay. It means you're waking up. And if you want to keep waking up with me, keep learning, keep growing, and maybe even find some peace in this loud world, then join this journey. Hit that subscribe button not just for content, but for community. And drop a comment. What's one thing you'd do differently if you had just 24 hours left? Your answer might be the one that wakes someone else up. And here's what's coming next. I'm diving deep into Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who ruled the world, but struggled every day to rule himself. Until then, remember, Socrates faced death so we could learn how to live. Let's not waste that gift.